What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to give you guys an update on the polypterus and the datnoids. So for the past couple of days, I wasn't able to pick up my camera. I had a family emergency, I had to repair my car, had holidays like Christmas and New Year's and whatnot, but I wanted to pick it up today and just give you guys an update for the first video of 2020. So let's just go ahead and start off by updating you guys on the polypterus. I threw in some pieces of slate. I ordered these pieces off of Amazon. It was pretty cheap. It was like, I think it was like 10 bucks and you get like 15 pieces of slate. And the reason why I chose slate is because it's like 100% natural rock. It's inert and it doesn't affect like pH and whatnot. So went ahead and picked up some pieces and I threw them in there. I was trying to get bigger pieces, but with these guys kind of like running around like that and smashing into stuff, I didn't want them to run into a huge piece of slate and potentially cut themselves. So I went ahead and opted for smaller pieces just in case they do run into it. They'll just move the rock. Like this one right here, they ran into it and it just shifted from there to there. So the thing is with polypterus, when they get scared, they'll bolt, and when they bolt, they'll smash into stuff. And if that object doesn't move, like if it's a huge piece of driftwood or a huge piece of rock, it'll most likely damage its snout. So just to kind of keep these guys safe, I went with smaller decorations and whatnot. And plus, with the addition of slate in here, I wanted to see if I can offset their color, because with bikers, if they have a lighter color substrate, their colors get washed out, like how this lap is right now. But if they have like a darker or like a red color, their patterns show way more. Especially with this wild caught lap right here. This guy right here will completely change and look like a completely different fish. Another thing that I added to this tank is this bamboo plant. I noticed that I'm starting to have a lot of fish in here. The fish are getting bigger, so I wanted to add any kind of plant or any kind of thing that will help me with nitrates and whatnot to this aquarium. The reason why I got the bamboo plant is because, you know, it's a stick. I can easily tie it to the intake of my refugium or my lift tube, and then it just goes all the way down, and then it just kind of stops right there. Roots don't go too crazy. Although it's not as big of a nitrate filter as pothos and whatnot, honestly anything helps, so I went ahead and added this plant here. You might be wondering what this thing is. I watched a video from Bay Area Aquatics about 2 weeks ago about a Wi-Fi security camera being used to monitor your tank, and it was only 25 bucks on Amazon. Oh no, wait, not Amazon, Home Depot, and went ahead and picked one up. As you can see, it's mounted by a magnet, so it's pretty sick, and you can like rotate this and whatnot, and it's powered by micro USB. So you plug it into your wall or outlet or whatever, and then plug it in, connects to your Wi-Fi, and you can monitor your fish from pretty much anywhere. So one of the most important things I use this for is to monitor my water changes. When it comes to water changes, I don't stick around. Filling up this tank takes a while. So I'll go inside and watch TV or be on my computer or something, and then I'll use this camera to monitor my water level. If I notice that the water level is going to almost be full, then I'll come out and I'll stop the water. And in order for me to do that, I just go like this, tilt this kind of like straight like that, and then that way I can monitor my water level. This right here, good. Look at the colors of these guys, man. Look at it. Sick, dude. Ain't that shit sick? Look at the colors of these guys. Clean. You know what's funny about these geos? One of these geos picked up a piece of massivore and it got stuck in their mouth for at least about a week. I didn't know what to do. I was gonna pick it up and use tongs and pull it out, but for about a week or maybe a little less than a week, this guy's one of their mouths was like closed, and I was getting kind of worried. But now they're perfectly fine. Maybe it was a piece of tilapia that was stuck inside, but yeah, now they're perfectly fine. I was gonna fish it out and use tweezers and pull it out, but I'm glad I just kind of left them alone, and they're cool now. Look at this Godzilla fish. Sick, dude. Yeah, they gotten super big, like because you can see. At this point, it's almost time to figure out what to do about this Enley right here. This guy, he's not at that point yet, but maybe about in a year he won't be able to turn in this tank. So we're gonna have to figure something out for this guy. Like, look how big this dude is, man. Move, bro. Like, watch as he comes across the tank. Like, it's not. Look at that. It's not nose to tail, all the way across the tank. But I'd say one more year and it's gonna be bad. It's looking at me. What you want, man? What you want, bro? What you want, bro? Yeah, some of my friends are telling me to get more bikers and put it into this tank. Honestly, with these 4 right here, it's hard for me to keep the bio load down. So I can't imagine more bikers in this tank. I think 4 or 5 is probably. Oh, now I have 4. I have 5 bikers. But yeah, with these 5 bikers in this tank, it's already kind of hard to keep the bio load down. So I don't think I'm gonna get any more bikers soon, especially because in the end I really want to keep this guy solo. So yeah, definitely not adding any more bikers soon. This tank is, honestly, I think this tank is pretty much full at this point. I'm not trying to stuff any more fish in here, and in the future I'm gonna move these geos out, and I think it's only gonna be the bikers in there when they get a lot bigger. Before we get to the update on the datnoids, I do have to update you guys on this project right here. So if you may or may not know, this is my Monte Carlo grow out bed type project. And as you can see, there's a lot of algae that built up in this container. For the Monte Carlo, they're not growing as fast as I want them to. And in fact, the algae is actually growing over the Monte Carlo plants themselves. The goal for today is we're going to go ahead and stop by the fish store, pick up a cleanup crew or a better cleanup crew than what I have inside, and we're going to add it into this little container. We're not going to be adding any kind of fish like autos or whatnot. We're pretty much just going to add more shrimps and snails, because honestly, this container, it'll be kind of cruel for me to put like an auto or like some kind of algae cleaning fish in here. But when it comes to snails and shrimp, I have no problem putting them in this tank. Hope this camera's it's kind of dirty. So what we're recording on right now is my in-car camera setup. I went ahead and mounted my GoPro to my dash with that little adhesive thing. And I want to do this in 2020 because I spent so much time in traffic, and there's so many times where I wish I had my camera on me. So I might as well just mount it on my dash, and whenever I want to record, I'll go ahead and record. As you may or may not recall, I picked up 3 datnoids in the last video. 2 of them were kind of splotchy, dark looking colored, and then the last one, which is the smallest one, has the nice stripes. It actually has stripes going from top to bottom, which is my favorite one. And it was actually the one that was the most vulnerable because he was the smallest, he was getting picked on, and he wasn't eating for the longest time. Since the day that I posted the video of me getting the datnoids, everyone has improved significantly. And improving, I mean they're not stressed anymore. When it comes to datnoids, the color of their body represent how they feel in the tank, how comfortable they are, whatnot, or if they're gonna get sick or something. So if they're really, really dark and they're not like NGTs or something, something's wrong. Either something's wrong or it's not comfortable. When I got all 3 of these datnoids, they were all dark as hell. They were all just, it was bad. I thought they were really dark datnoids, but in reality, their colors just showed me that they were extremely stressed. They were in a new environment, and they weren't liking it 100%. Over the next 2 weeks that I had them, their colors got a little brighter, but at the same time, it washed them out completely. The 2 bigger datnoids, they almost have no color at all. They only have like a couple splotches here and there, which doesn't make them look any better, but at least I know they're comfortable now. They're coming out now. They're not hiding as much anymore, but at the same time, once you see a camera, they'll swim away and hide in the rocks and stuff. So they're very camera shy, but when it comes to seeing bloodworms or bloodworms in a cup, they'll all come out. The smallest datnoid is the nicest out of the 3 and my favorite, but at the same time, I wasn't going for like the high quality datnoids, 3-bar datnoids, 4-colored pattern datnoids, whatever. I wasn't going for the baller datnoids. I just wanted to keep datnoids. So I'm glad these 3 are doing good. They're all eating. They're all perfectly fine. They're bulking up and they're good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and fill up some gas. I'm kind of on E right now, and then my boy wants to go with me to the fish store as well, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick him up too. And he's actually looking into the same types of creatures or critters that I'm looking to get today as well. So I'll go ahead and cut this camera on when we go pick up my boy. I just want to take this opportunity to show you guys my little camera setup. Let me go ahead and take it with my camera. But yeah, if you're watching this right now, this is what I'm recording on. It's like a GoPro. It's mounted on my dash. It's pretty unique. It's tight because it has like a in-body stabilization and stuff. So when I do my headshots and whatnot, it's not vibrating and doing crazy ass stuff. So this is what I'm going to be using for my dash camera in 2020, and hopefully I'll be able to pump out some cool content with this.
Remember those days, those L's, I couldn't sleep right. Now I get paid, vacay, I'm staying B-side. Breaking the blues over steak, I gotta eat right. You could be my peace sign. I don't need that energy around me. I just need sun, you're so cloudy. I wake up good, you're so grouchy. Please get from around me.
Alright, so we just got home with our snail buying adventure, and we're going to go ahead and add the snails to the little container. So we're going to go ahead and acclimate these guys just like how we acclimate normal fish. Yeah, as you can see, I definitely need some algae control in this little tank or this little container, so I'm hoping the snails will help me out with it a little bit. So we'll come back when the snails are ready, and we'll go ahead and put them in. Hopefully it doesn't get stuck on my bulkhead. That'll be an issue. That'll kind of cause the tank to flood, so I'll go ahead and keep an eye out on that with my camera. See how useful that is? So here are the 4-horned nearite snails. They're kind of congregated in the corner right here. I'm hoping that they'll, zoom past this little container and pick up algae, pick up dead, dying plant matter, or what have you, and pretty much just help me clean up this tank. I didn't want to add any types of fish in here, and all I wanted to do was add invertebrates like shrimp, snails, and whatnot. Basic cleanup crew for this little container, because as you can see, there's building up a lot of algae, and it's starting to be kind of unsightly, and it's starting to look kind of ugly. All I really want is my Monte Carlo to grow nicely and pretty much carpet the bottom of this tank. These nearite snails are going to take care of all those dying plants in the back, help me eat them up, and hopefully take care of the algae in this little container as well. And also adding in these nearite snails is pretty good because I'll be adding in some life into this little container, as it was getting a little boring just with one shrimp in there. Although the shrimp was doing good and it's still doing good, I wanted to add a little bit more life in this little container. My only worry is if these snails climb out and somehow get in the cracks of this egg crate, it's going to go straight into my polypterus tank, and that's not really a good look. If my polypterus decide to swallow any of these snails, I don't think it'll be able to pass them because their horns have spikes in it, and it might be an issue if that were to ever happen. So I'm hoping these snails stay in this container. If not, and they start climbing out, we're gonna have to try to find a way to seal off this top in order to prevent that from happening. But until that happens, we'll just go ahead and leave it alone and leave it as is. As you can see, the snails are kind of still in the corner, but that one in the back is kind of moving around. So hopefully they go ahead and find their spots and find their food and start helping me clean up this little container, because this is looking really messy. So yeah, snails, guys. Literally spent the whole day finding snails. So that's it for today's video. I just wanted to show you guys an update on the polypterus out here, the datnoids inside, and I also wanted to take you along for the ride while getting these snails right here. So I'd like to thank you guys for watching the first video of 2020. Stay tuned for the next one, and peace, guys.